Hey guys, so we finally have the announcement for Explosive Chain Battle. Now this was announced a few days ago now. This is being recorded on the 13th of August, so it'll probably go up the same day I'm recording this. And this was announced on August 10th, so still hasn't arrived yet. And the first thing people are going to want to know is when is this actually coming out? And if I'm going to take a guess, because we actually don't know the specific release date for it, but if I'd take a guess, I would probably say sometime around the 17th, because the 17th is when we are slated to get part 2 to this celebration that we have going on right now, which is the Kefla celebration. The reason why I know that is because you take a look at the missions tab. We can actually do that right now. While we're here, I might as well show you guys what I'm talking about. So we go to missions, special missions, and then if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, these are the ones that are inactive right here. Part 2. So part 2, and it says it starts at 8:16 at, like, you know, it's basically reset on that day. So the event should either be going up on the 16th or 17th early in the morning for me, Eastern time. So that's when I think it should be arriving. So that's step 1. But what is chain battle? Now this is probably going to be a little bit tough to explain via just my words without showing you visually what I'm talking about. It's much easier to actually get a grasp of the mode once we're playing it, but I'll definitely make a ton of videos on the actual mode itself because I'm actually really interested in this mode. It is something completely different. There have been, I guess, mixed reviews from people on the JP side of Dokkan who either don't like it or really like it. I think it's a good idea for them to, you know, just experiment with new things, and I'm not going to fault them whenever they come up with new ideas to try in this game because, you know, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again eventually gets rather boring. And for something like this, Explosive Chain Battle, it's something completely different. It's fresh. I think it's interesting, so definitely looking forward to this being implemented on Global over the course of the next few days. Get to try it myself instead of just watching videos of it, finally. But go ahead and look through this rather short announcement post, and then we'll go through some of these other posts I have pulled up over here so I can try and explain exactly what this mode is and how it works. So the new battle mode, Explosive Chain Battle, will soon be available in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Explosive Chain Battle is a new mode where you can advance in the rankings by borrowing your friends' characters to reach new high scores. Stay tuned for the upcoming new battle mode. Treasure item. Now this is probably the most important part of this because, as a lot of people would like to point out on the JP side of the game that have already experienced this mode, the rewards are very, very good. So the new treasure item, Emblem of Cooperation, can be obtained in Explosive Chain Battle. Collect Emblem of Cooperation to open up secret treasure chests, which will be available at Baba's shop in the future. And we actually have a tab for this, which has been unable to be accessed for about a month and a half or 2 months at this point. So they added it quite early, but this is finally what this is going to be used for. So this is coming soon, but again, I think it'll probably come around the 17th or 16th. And you can see all these amazing things. You can get mostly skill orbs because that's what you get from this chest is skill orbs. Okay, so let's head over to the Dokkan Wiki, and they actually do a pretty good job of laying out basically what this mode is and exactly, you know, what it entails here. So first, let's just go through this part because you guys are probably interested in rewards. The new treasure Emblem of Cooperation, which is basically the currency for this. So you know how Battlefield has like the Battlefield memory currency? The currency for this is called Emblem of Cooperation. Can be obtained in Explosive Chain Battle. By collecting Emblem of Cooperation, you'll be able to open the secret treasure chest that will appear at Baba's shop. It can be opened with each, you know, 100 of these. And you get 1 skill orb as a reward, chosen randomly from the ones available. And these skill orbs, this is why I was telling you guys, maybe, you know, you don't want to be using your level 3 crits, level 3 additionals on your units yet, because you're going to be getting better, potentially better skill orbs from this treasure chest here. You can get level 5 gold crits, level 5 gold additionals, level 5 crits, silvers even, silver and gold from this. So bronze is the same. The best bronze you can get is still level 5 attack for every type, so that's not going to change. But in terms of the gold and silvers, like, this is what you want to be doing. Chain Battle consumes its own energy system. A max of 5 energy can be held, and 1 bar will restore every 3 hours. So you don't have to actually use stamina to take this on. It has a separate system from the stamina bar. Additionally, energy may be restored with Dragon Stones, which is, you know, to be expected. This may be done a max of 5 times. Players may also send nice messages to friends that they have recently helped in battle, providing rewards. So, for example, this is very similar to, you know, after you use a friend leader in like the normal events in the game, you can add them to your friends list. Like something pops up, if they're a guest, basically, something pops up and it's like, would you like to add so-and-so as a friend? once you use a friend's team in this mode, you can, after you finish the mode, a thing will pop up and be like, you use this person's team. You can send them a nice message, and then that will give you and that person a reward. It'll give you some of these emblems. So it's always, you should just do that every single time. You may select 20 characters to offer as support to other players. Characters must be Z Awakened to participate, blah, 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 blah. 10 Super, 10 Extreme class. Bosses will be weak to specific categories, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think it's better just to look at this post. This is a more comprehensive thing that basically takes you step by step through everything, and then we can back this information up with stuff we have over on the wiki. So this is a Reddit post, a very well done, comprehensive Reddit post over here. It basically gives you a step-by-step guide to just how exactly this mode works. So you press start mode on a mode screen, very, very easy. Select 20 supporters to be made available to friends. So right off the bat, it's just, just note that you're not actually going to be using these 20 supporters. You're setting those so your friends can use those. And the reason why that's important is because you want, even though you're not going to be using these, you still want to have a good setup for your friends to use, because the more people use your characters, the more nice messages you're going to get, and the more of these you're going to have access to, basically. So you want to make sure that your supporters are pretty good. And then it's 10 Extreme and 10 Super types. And yeah, that's what is available to your friends. Then after that, you select connectors. Connector characters that work with your friend supporters. Okay, so this is it. So first of all, you select your own supporters, and then once you hop into the mode, you select 2 sets of supporters. 10 Extreme class supporters, and then 10 Super class supporters. And those are from different people. It can be the same person if you happen to find, 2 sets from the same person, but so you choose, the one group of 10 super type supporters, one group of 10 extreme type supporters. After you've done that, you have to choose 2 connectors. These are, I guess, special units called connectors. And what the connector's role is to basically interact with your supporters to share the most characteristics with them. So it says characters that work with friend supporters, one for super types and one for extreme types. So the connectors, you want the connectors to have as many types with them as possible. So let's say you have, a mix of all different types, AGL, strength, tech, etc. So let's say you have 4 strength, and that's the most of one type you have as a supporter in your group. You want to choose a strength connector because that'll be good. But then also, in addition to just type, you have to think of categories. How many categories does the connector have in common with, the supporters? How many links does the connector have in common? So it's taking into account links, categories, and typing. So it's a lot to work with. It's most of the time you're really only going to be limited to 1, 2, 3, or 4 top tier choices. I remember, I think it was the first one against a Broly on JP. The strength Goten was the one that everybody was using because he was de facto the best one. And it's pretty easy to figure out which one's the best after the first day or two. People have been testing the mode out. But that's what a connector is, and then that's going to directly affect your chain power, which we see here, raise chain power and engage in new battles. And there's going to be a little gauge underneath your connector, which basically tells you, okay, your chain power is maxed out, you're going to be getting the most benefit from using this connector. And it's basically really easy to see. You just literally click a connector that you want to use, and if the chain power is lower than a different connector, you choose the other connector. Pretty easy. Face the enemy by selecting 3 of the 8 allies that appear randomly together with our main character in the game previews. Okay, so basically, once you're actually in the mode and you're fighting the enemy, right, this screen is going to appear when you're actually fighting and engaging with the enemy, and this is pretty much the only thing you have to do in the actual battle phase of the event. And what this is it's going to pop up 8 supporters. So remember, in total you have 20. Because you picked 10 super class and 10 extreme class supporters. So you have 8 that are going to pop up randomly. And it even tells you, actually it doesn't even tell you here, but basically what you want to do here is you have to pick 3 of these 8 units, and you want to pick 3 of these 8 that share the most characteristics in common with each other. Again, exactly the same way that it works with the connectors, where you want them to have, the most types that they're sharing, categories, and links. So that's really what you want to make use of there. And there's a little bit of an extra layer here to this function as well. You can see this time bar up here. Now this is going to obviously start as a full bar, and it's going to slowly count down. I think it's, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that. but the more time that's left when you choose your 3 characters, the more damage you're going to deal. Like, I think it even says here, yeah, the additional damage dealt to your enemy will become largely significant after half of the time has elapsed. Oh, sorry, barely significant after half of the time has elapsed, so it is recommended that you decide on supporters as soon as possible. So basically it's saying that, you know, the faster you choose your 3 supporters, or the 3 characters you want to engage in battle with, the more damage you're going to be dealing. But again, I think in my experience of watching people play this mode, I haven't tried it myself because I'm a global main, but from what I've seen and from what I understand, it's more important to make sure that, you know, you spend the extra second or 2 just to make sure you're picking the 3 best options here, rather than just picking the first 3 that you see because it's faster. I think the accuracy of picking the 3, you know, units that are that have the most characteristics in common is more important than just blitzing through this as fast as you can. So that's that portion. Selecting characters with more characteristics common with increased damage dealt. Yep, exactly. Yeah, attribute, alignment, categories, links. The damage can also be increased by quickly selecting 3 characters to be used. Yep, if the timer exceeds half the time, 3 recommended characters will be indicated. Yeah, so as we can see here, it's highlighting some characters to be used. And the reason why it's doing that is because it's saying, okay, you want to be using, you know, these 3 or like any combination of these 4 that are highlighted because they have the most in common with each other. But again, I think the goal is to be able to select your 3 characters before this happens, because at this point you're already halfway down and it's going to be impacting your damage significantly. So from this mode, you will still get rewards based on the damage done that will make us fall into a ranking of percentages of players who have done damage similar to ours, and we will receive an item that will unlock the section of the Baba Shop. Yeah, we talked about the chest already. And the enemy will change periodically and be weak to specific different categories and characters each time. So, the ranking system, we can see here, it's a little bit small. Let me zoom in a little bit. It's a little blurry now, but that's fine. So basically the way this works is it's different than World Tournament, but it's not super different. Basically, it's a percentile-based system where you will get rewards based on what percentile you fall into. So, you know, you have 1%, 2 to 3, 4 to 6, 8 to 10, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we can take a look at the actual rewards too. There's a different tab for this. Let's go back over here. Yeah, ranking. So here we go. 1%. Like, this is why people like doing this mode who don't actually enjoy the actual playability of the event, is because of the rewards are so good. You get, for top 1%, 5,000 emblems. That's 50 pieces of equipment. Think about that. Over the course of the anniversary, the 5th year anniversary, like, how many pieces of equipment did we get from the Whis event? Like 100, maybe? It's like half of that in just one turn of these events. And this is only from the ranking rewards. Remember, there's missions too. We can go through that in a second. And every day you're getting the nice messages from your friends. So, I mean, it's a lot. 10 Elder Kais, you get statues, you get 3 stickers, turtle shells, and then enough orbs to basically rainbow a unit of every single typing for top 1%. So, and then even if you go down to like 6 to 10%, you still get 30 pieces of equipment, you get 3 Elder Kais, you get a bunch of it's still really good. These rewards are insane. And then there's also missions associated with this, just a bunch of emblems, you get more Kais, more orbs, like stones. It's really, really insane. And then last thing I want to just mention quickly is, like the post mentioned here, you know, the enemies change periodically based off of, you know, what the celebration is and stuff like that. So the first one JP got was during Golden Week, which is what introduced this mode on JP. So that was during the Gotenks and Boo Dual Dokkan Fest, which we have not received yet on Global. And that was LSSJ Broly, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So I think what they're going to end up doing for us is we're going to start on Global with Super Saiyan God Goku, because this is the one that is linked to the Kefla celebration. And as you can see, the categories also reflect that, with Universe Survival Saga, Universe 6, and Rapid Growth all being basically the effective categories versus Super Saiyan God Goku. So again, like for extreme types, you probably want to use Hit. Then super types, you want to use like Kale Caulifla units, Kefla units, stuff like that. So that's pretty much what we're looking at in terms of what we are going to see for the first chain battle. I think it's going to be Super Saiyan God Goku. I think it's going to release on the 16th or 17th of this month, so only a few days away. These are pretty much all the steps you have to take to play the game, and a lot of people call this the whale mode, but in actuality, it's not super whale dependent. It's more dependent on how good your friends list is, because if you have really good friends that have a nice set of supporters for you to use, then like that's all you need. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So let me know if you guys are excited for this. Again, I do think them trying out new modes in this game is definitely a big plus, because, you know, doing, again, the same thing over and over and over again to me is not fun. It is fun for a little bit, but then it just gets repetitive and boring. So stuff like this really opens up, you know, a lot of doors for this game moving into the future. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below if you guys are excited for this event. If you have any questions, I'll try and get to some comments that I can respond, and I will see you all in the next one.